Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, as usual, before I begin with this lesson, I'm going to start it off by giving all the glory and infinite praise to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakah Kadesh, thereby and the elders and the apostles, great millstone, who I'm taught and learn this truth 100% from. Peace and blessings be to you, who is serving Yahweh Shema Shine sincerity, hoping for mercy and salvation in these last days, man. To you I say Shalom and Yahweh Shema Shah Brakathun. So, what is your reasoning for laboring in this truth? What is the reasoning for you laboring in this truth? Why are you doing the work of the Lord? Are you going out to the highways and the byways? You know, if you teach, to be a pleaser of men, you know what I'm saying? To get views and to get likes and fame. And what is your reasoning behind doing the work of the Lord? And what inspired me to Salaki, bros, but Salaki, what inspired me to actually speak on this topic was I was watching the elder brother from Chicago, not Chicago, but Kansas City, and he did this lesson going into, you know, Jake bugging out. You know, you got, you know, Jake that, you know, get offended by, you know, whatever, you know, bros be having behind, you know, going on behind closed doors, man. You know, when they don't end up working that shit out, then you got Jake there end up branching off, and eventually, you know, since they don't talk about that, you know, with the individual, you know, they was having, God damn, bitch, why does turn? It's like you, man. But they don't end up, you know, brushing that shit off, and Jake fucks around and starts bugging out. All right, you know that. Hey, I ain't even gonna lie to you. I've seen that happen myself. Jake be getting offended by shit that they be having, you know, within their camp, and then next thing you know, they start communicating with certain individuals. They talking shit. You know, they start bugging out, saying worse shit, and then start changing the doctrine. You know what I mean? Because they get that demon on them. But also, what the elder was mentioning, which is what stood out to me, you got a lot of Jake who come into this truth. They may labor. They may be doing the work of the Lord. They may be out there teaching, doing lessons, and maybe even on fire, and may not get the acknowledgement that certain of the brothers may get. So that can cause Jake to think that they being overlooked. All right, and shit, we can all feel like that at times, but at the end of the day, who gives a fuck about that shit? You shouldn't be in this ministry. You shouldn't be going out to the highways and the byways, sacrificing, out in the cold, out in the heat, looking stupid to get a couple of likes from men. You know what I mean? To get your page shared. None of that shit should matter to you. Now, it's cool. It may make you feel good. Hell yeah, we all like, you know what I'm saying, you know, getting our work seen. You know, it feel good when brothers like your video, you know, comment on it, show support, share it. It's like, damn, you know what I'm saying? This was an edifying lesson. But that ain't what it's always about, man. I remember I had this conversation with a brother shit a little minute ago, actually. But anyways, we was chopping it up about, and I was telling him like, certain brothers, you know, may get may seem like they getting overlooked because they can't handle that quote unquote fame. You know what I mean? They can't handle that fame. You know, Chief, like an example, a Chief example with the Sakari dude, Gorilla Hebrew. All right, he let all that fame get to his head, and then, you know, the unexpected happened. You know, you find out he's behind the closet, or he's, you know, in the closet doing he's playing with his booty and shit. You know what I mean? You know, that attention can have your ass bugged out. Alright. You know, you may start, you know, being sincere. You may start off being sincere, and then you start getting some views, you start getting you start getting likes. And And then the next thing you know, you doing lessons because you feel like, you wanna get views and shit. You know what I mean? You doing lessons to get views, see how many views you can get, see how many likes you can get. And then if you don't, you know what I'm saying, get as many views or likes on the lesson, and you probably feel some type of way, and then you start trying to do lessons that'll grab Jake's attention and shit, then at that point you're not being sincere. You're just doing this shit for men. This is why brothers gotta check their spirit. What are you doing the work for, man? Alright, are you doing it to be seen of men, to get a couple of likes, get your page shared, or is you doing it to actually get your ass on a chariot, man? Alright, and we understand that, what it all boils down to is predestination. Alright, but the elect is gonna put on as the elect. Alright, if you in the spirit of the elect, you're not gonna give a damn about no views. Alright, it be times where I get 0 views. It be a lesson I done went hard in. That shit don't matter though, because as long as Yahweh Shema Shai is because the scriptures say that the Lord beholds the good and the evil, man. The Lord see everything that you're doing. If the Lord see that you sinning this shit, what makes you think that He not gonna see the good that you're doing? Seeing that you putting the extra effort to make time on the side to do a lesson for Him, to go out there and basically sacrifice yourself with the humiliation ritual, because when you go out to the highways and the byways, bro, Jake be out there getting laughed at and some more shit, man. Right? You going out there and doing that, you mean to tell me that you're going to go out there and do that just so that you can get a couple of likes, some shit that's definitely not finna benefit you? You could have 0 views. If you're doing a lesson out of the sincerity of your spirit, that's going to bring you, that's going to bring you a lot more further, way more further, an infinite amount of times further than what them goddamn mics is going to do. I'm going to tell you that right now. Alright, so, with that being said, this was just something, quick that I wanted to speak on, Lord willing. I wasn't rambling too much, man. But, with that being said, Shalom. Yahweh Shema Shai Barakathum. Shalom.